Everything is building you to become the person you need to be to do the things you want to do. So what if you could design your life instead of just reacting to it? What if reality isn't something you inherit, but something you can create? Today, I'm going to walk you through a simple 3-step process to create your own reality starting right now. And you can rinse and repeat this at any time in your life. By the end of this episode, you won't just understand the concept of creating your reality. You'll have a practical exercise that you can do today to start shifting into the life you want. Hey everyone, welcome to Real Influence. I'm Vaillancourt, your friend and fellow traveler in the Great Life Experiment. Here we explore how to break free from autopilot, live with clarity and courage, and align your life with what matters most now, not someday. And just before we dive in, I want to invite you to something I built based on investing over $300,000 in personal development myself over the past decade of my life. It's called the Great Life Experiment 30-Day Challenge. For 30 days, you're going to get one short, powerful daily shift, the exact tools and reflections that help me stop chasing and start actually living. It's completely free and it's designed to help you experience what life can feel like when you step off autopilot and finally enjoy the success you've already built. You can join at thegreatlifeexperiment.ca. So for those of you new to this episode, you might not know that I've been coaching with David Bayer. David Bayer is in alignment with people like Tony Robbins and personal development gurus, although I don't like to say that, but it's kind of what it is. Now, David Bayer is what I'd like to call Mindset 2.0. His methodologies, his frameworks are super simple, and they're really for the evolved being who's already done the personal development, but it never worked for them. That's including myself. So I coach with David, but then I really liked the practical applications of the frameworks of his teachings. And I thought I should get certified in his Mindset Facilitator program. So for the past 4 months, I've been deeply immersed in the world of learning, coaching, and understanding the methodology so that I can also coach and lead teams better, lead people better, and lead my family as well as myself better. So that's wrapped up now. I was super excited to get certified and get into the program and now be able to bring this to the world more. So I wanted to unpack something we did in the 2-day intensive, which was the official wrap up of the program. And it's an exercise that I've done a few times, including when I was in his private mastermind around 1.5 years ago. So the exercise is creating your own reality, and it's called the 4D exercise. And it's a really simple process. It's 3 steps. Anybody can do it. And we're going to go through those exact 3 steps. And I'm going to give you the exact example that I use for myself to make it more relatable and understandable. Okay, so step 1 is to create your desires. You want to ask yourself, what do I really want? Think in terms of lifestyle, relationships, money, health, and impact. Write it down as if it's already here. Example, I want to run 1 to 2 events a year that bring together families. The clearer your desires, the more specific you are with the amount of money, where you're living, when is that going to happen, and how does that look, the better. So I'm actually going to look at my screen. I'm going to walk you through exactly what I put. So here's me manifesting in real time, and you can check back in 2029 if this actually occurred. Actually, I put 2030 for my example. So my desires is I'm an integrator and operator and kind of an entrepreneur. We have rental, real estate. I work with Bioptimizers. I've got this podcast, and I have a whole bunch of different passion projects that I'm excited to launch. But as David would say, you can have it all, but you can't have it all at once. So my desires that I've created in this exercise were I want a $1.2 million a year business with 60% profit margin. That's my own business and an active investment portfolio of $18 million that includes rentals, private equity, venture capital investments by 2030. So I'm setting this around 4 to 5 years from today. Now, the second thing I said, I want to run 1 to 2 events per year that bring together individuals, parents, and families where we're focused on adventure, finding peace through authentic alignment, and becoming better leaders in our families and our lives. I want the business to consist of podcasting, traveling, courses, communities, books, and stage talks. I want to be working on purpose and by choice, no more than 20 hours a week, and traveling at least once per quarter with my family. And I want my business to be a supportive mission that also feeds my own family and personal development and missions we want to support. What I mean by that is, as I bring families together, which is what I'm really passionate about, I want to help people understand that they can lead themselves and their families better and that they can have it all including their family while they're on business. So I want to learn about my family and build my family while we build other people's families. That includes taking courses together, traveling together. So I want my lifestyle to match my business. So those are my desires. Next, we're going to get into step 2, identifying your current identity. All right. So step 2 is identify who you are today. Okay. So you want to reflect, who am I being right now that's creating the reality I'm living? Capture your current thoughts, feelings, and emotions. And I'll give you some examples. Again, I'm going to walk you through exactly what I put for myself for this exercise, but it could be feeling like I consistently feel discouraged. I consistently feel behind. I feel frustrated, angry, whatever it is, but you're going to go through all of these and you want to be as honest as possible, because in the next step, we're going to start to say, who do we need to become? How do we need to be acting and feeling on a daily basis? So for me, here's what I put as my current identity. And you want to put a funny label on this. I called myself half-baked Joey, because I have a tendency to take on new projects and not see them through to completion, move on to the next project, and hopefully that becomes the next thing. So I don't want to be half-baked Joey anymore. I want to be solidified in my vision. I want to be consistent in the actions I take. I want to be okay with whatever outcome is produced as the outcome that I need to be in or experiencing so that I continue to evolve in my next evolution. So here are the things that I came up with. The thoughts I have. It's going to take a long time, but I know it's kind of coming. I need the cash flow from my primary business to support the passion business. The passion business will just be a small portion, but it'll never become the big thing. Who am I to start anything, right? Imposter syndrome. I don't have the right message or the audience yet. So these are all the things that are limiting me from moving into the new identity. The feelings I have is I feel discouraged sometimes. I feel disempowered. I feel scared that I'm not spending enough time adding value to my client. So like if I'm working on my passion projects on the weekend, I feel like, you know what, if I would have dedicated that to my client work or the things that are paying my bills, I could have made more money. I know that's not true. And David Bayer has a great philosophy around limiting beliefs and when it doesn't feel good. So if you have any kind of thought about anything you're experiencing in life, it actually means it's not true. Based on 10,000 coaching calls he's had, as well as his coaches that he's coached to coach other people, they've realized that it's the narrative you're giving the experience. And the story is separate from the experience. And when you experience something and you feel a negative emotion, he calls it a primal state, it's actually not true. You're creating a narrative that's not true. So some form of the opposite is true. And we'll get into that in another episode. But those are the feelings I'm feeling. So the actions I take from having those thoughts, having those feelings, I spend a disproportionate amount of time on the cash flow business. I don't finish one thing from start to finish, or I just don't simply start a community. I don't spend enough time with my family in developing the things I want to develop, including like doing core values, taking more trips. And I focus on cash investments to grow the retirement that I don't ever even want to take. So like these are the things, these are the restrictions. I'm trying to create a safety net. I'm doing all these things that are not building the vision that I want to build. So then we have to move into step 3. Who do we need to become? How do we need to be feeling, acting, and doing it differently so we have a different result? So step 3 is define your future identity. Ask yourself, who would I be if my desires were already done? Capture the new thoughts, feelings, and behaviors of that version of you. Like I feel empowered. I take action without fear. I'm confident in sharing my message. I listen to my intuition. Write this as a present identity statement. So I'm the person who lives with peace, alignment, and confidence, serving the right audience with the right message. So again, going back to my example, so half-baked Joey, he's got these things that he's trying to launch, but he doesn't ever launch them fully and completely. He doesn't ever go all in on it, and he focuses on producing more cash versus producing more passion. So the new identity I need to shift into, and again, this is something I've done in the past, and I've already moved into the new identity. Now I want to create an even higher level identity, even something better than what I created initially. That's the beauty of this exercise. You can repeat this every time you hit the next mountain peak because you're going to evolve. You're going to become something better. And then you're going to realize that there's new things that have emerged. There's new insights that you've found out about yourself. There's new desires you're going to have. So we can reshape the new identity every single time we reach the next mountaintop. So the new identity for me, again, old one was half-baked Joey. The guy doesn't finish things. The guys that live in fear and scarcity. The new identity is the God will provide the God will provide, Joey, or the universe will provide, or everything will work out, depending on what your faith is. It doesn't have to be God-based, but basically I'm saying that no matter what happens, it's all going to work out. And if I felt that, if I believed that, then my thoughts I have are everything is happening in the right amount of time. Everything I have is something I previously desired and now have. Money is abundant and has always been. In fact, we've never lived in a time where money has been more abundant. My journey has perfectly positioned me to be the person I need to be to serve the people I was meant to serve, and it'll fuel the passion lifestyle beyond what I ever thought possible. Let that one sink in a bit, because oftentimes we see everything as perceived failures. This venture didn't work out. This project was a failure. I tried this type of new business and it didn't work out. Everything is building you to become the person you need to be to do the things you want to do, if you allow it and if you believe that. And I truly do believe that. And the other thought I have is the right audience will find me. So long as I'm authentic. I'm rambling to you today in today's podcast, but I'm being truthful, I'm being integrous, and I'm being in alignment with what I want to say, and I'm not trying to be something else. You will find me. You are here watching this video. If you are resonating, great. If you don't, you're going to hop away. I'm waiting for my audience to find me. I'm just going to be speaking my truths from now on. Now, the feelings I'm going to feel empowered. I'm going to feel happy. I'm going to feel peaceful. I'm going to feel grateful. I'm going to feel relaxed. If you watch my other videos, sometimes you'll notice that I probably got stressed, and sometimes I still get stressed. Even though it's just me and a camera in my office all by myself, I still worry about what other people are thinking. But if I just come from a place of complete, honest reflection on who I am, what I want to say, I'm relaxed and I'm trying to enjoy this process. Even though today I've got like 250 subscribers, maybe 220, I think is the actual number. I want to be real. That's okay. I want to enjoy the process. I like being creative. I like producing things like this. And I like speaking my mind and speaking the truth for the people that it's going to help to change and shift their life. Now, how I'd act, I would take action without overthinking. I'm not going to think, oh, should I serve this person? Should I launch this? There's a certain amount of reflection that will go into it, but ultimately action with alignment is the most powerful thing I can do right now. And I'd focus on completion of projects and taking the learnings and evolving. What iterations can I take into the next project, given that I've learned things from the previous project or the previous community launch or whatever I was doing? And I'd be more confident in delivery of my message, which is what I feel today. What I'd be doing. So this is the powerful thing. This is the thing you need to actually be doing as you take on this new identity. This isn't an identity that we want to become later. These are things we want to start to feel and act and do now. Now, let me explain exactly what I mean by that. If I had everything done, if I already had the $1.2 million business, I had families coming together, I was doing events, I was speaking on more stages, the podcast was blowing up, I'd be taking more trips, I'd be finishing one funnel, I'd be enjoying the process, I'd take more dedicated time to work and complete different put you first principles, books, all these things I want to build. I'd listen more to my intuition. I'd reach out to people without fear because I know I have something to offer them. The reason why we're creating this identity is to realize that in order to become and get the things that we want from our future vision, we need to start to act like our future selves now. So that means that it's not putting away a bunch of money and saying, one day I'll take a vacation. I have to still hustle and grind for the next 5 years, but then I'm going to start to live my life. No, it's doing the things now. So I'm not going to put off trips. I'm not going to put off my passions just because the business requires more of me some days. I'm going to be there for my family for the time that I want to put into it. And I'm not going to let anything distract from that. I'm going to become the person that I need to become and start living that lifestyle now as much as I can. So that being said, I would say there's some caveats to this. If you want to make $5 million a year, you're not going to start to spend as if you're a $5 million heir or whatever the hell you call it. But I think you get what I'm saying. You want to start to adopt the feeling and the actions and how you present yourself. And for me, it's really about embodying the enjoyment, being curious about these projects, going out and trying to serve rather than trying to just monetize. Monetization is part of it. But right now, my goal is to just reach people, help them shift their thinking, serve them. I have an AA sponsor, and he has been giving his time and his energy and his focus to me for free. I want to give back to somebody else that's in need. So I'm not focused on forecasting and projecting my business just yet. There's a saying that says something like planning is essential, but plans are meaningless. It's very much in alignment with what I need to adopt now. I have to stop over planning. I have to start to execute. So just to recap this, The exercise is pretty simple. What are your desires? Be specific, set timelines to them, but know that it might not always hit the exact timeline, but that's okay. We just want at least a target to aim for. So list out all the desires of everything you want. Imagine a magic wand, okay? Don't limit yourself. Don't just say, I want to be rich. I just want to have a big house. Be specific with what you're managing, what you're doing daily, and how you're living your life is the most important thing. Who are you surrounded by? What are you doing daily? And then identify what are the things you're doing today that's blocking you from actually getting those things. And this is, again, you have to be really honest with yourself. Come up with a fun name. Again, I was half-baked Joey. I never finish anything. I always start things, but I never finish it or never see it through to completion. What's the new identity? Give it a fun kooky name like the God will provide Joey. And then start to list out all the things that that person is doing. If you think of yourself and you have $5 million in the bank, if that's your target, how would you be acting? How would you be showing up? How would you be talking to people? How would that differ from how you're talking to people and acting today? Start to act like that now. This sounds a little woo-woo sometimes, but it works. And sometimes you just have to start to fake it until you make it. So just to recap, your reality is created by your desires, your current identity, and the future identity you want to step into. So even one small shift today creates massive ripple effects. The goal is consistency and to take action. Okay, so think about the person you would be if you had everything done and start acting like that today. And if you found this helpful, the way to show love these days is social sharing. If you can like this, comment, subscribe, wonderful. If you can share this with a friend, even better. Go to our newsletter, sign up for the Great Life Experiment 30-day challenge. I want to know this is having an impact on you, so I continue to make videos that are in alignment with what you want to hear based on what you resonate with me. Once again, thank you for spending time with me today. Hope you have a great day, and we'll see you in the next episode. Take care.